In order for an engine to continue running, regular maintenance is undertaken to ensure that they're kept in good working order and that no problems would occur while out on the line. On one particular day, it was discovered that Dom was having trouble with his brakes. They weren't working properly and needed to be replaced. But the workshops didn't have space for Dom, so as a precaution, Mr. Harris decided to lessen the number of trains Dom usually pulled in case heavy amounts took a toll on his brakes. This proved to work, but there was a catch. Other engines had to do some of Dom's other jobs as well as their own. This did not go down well with one of them, and one night, opinions were voiced.
Why should we put up with Dom's jobs? We have enough work to do ourselves.
Mr. Harris made the decision to limit the amount for me until a space is available for my brakes to be fixed.
Well, it's not going to happen anytime soon. If anything, this limitation sounds more like an excuse for laziness.
Laziness?
That's right. And furthermore...
Oh, will you two stop boiler aching about such a trivial matter and go to sleep? You're doing my smoke boxing with your quarrelling.
That stopped the argument, but instead of going to sleep, Dom thought of how he could prove Sadie wrong. The next day, Dom was sent to collect coal from the Eversley colliery. He would then bring it down to the junction where an engine from the main line would take it further on. While making his journey, Dom had come up with a plan to prove Sadie wrong. There were a lot of trucks in the yard, and Dom knew he would have to take them in smaller sections, 4 trucks at the most. But not wanting to hear more complaints about his limitations, Dom decided to take all of them at once. So he shunted the trucks into one long line and set off for the junction. Dom puffed cheerfully through the countryside with his heavy load.
This'll show 'em, this'll show 'em. Limitations? Me? Never.
But Dom had forgotten something. The line to the junction runs down a steep slope where a sharp corner lies at the bottom. So it was highly recommended for trains to decrease their speed as they go down. But Dom, wrapped up in his mind, didn't remember, and feeling very content with himself, began to descend the slope. Then, it happened! As Dom began to apply his brakes, he felt the weight of the heavy trucks beginning to push him, and he started to go faster down the other side!
Help! Help! I can't stop!
Dom fought for control, but his brakes were useless against the trucks and could do nothing to stop them. The closer the bottom came, disaster struck. Dom had hit the corner and had come off the rails. He wasn't hurt, just shaken, but it was now apparent his brakes had failed altogether.
Oh dear. I shouldn't have tried to take all those trucks, and now look what's happened. I am a silly engine.
When Dom was back on the rails and taken to the workshop, Mr. Harris came to see him. After Dom explained why he had taken so many trucks, Mr. Harris sighed. I limited your trains so that accidents like this wouldn't happen. While it is understandable you were only trying to prove yourself, safety for you and others must be taken into account.
Yes, sir.
I will also be having a word with Sadie about her choice of words. It seems it's not just you who is at fault. While Dom didn't suffer too much damage, he had to stay in the workshop for a while. And after the talk Mr. Harris had with her, Sadie felt bad for her words and volunteered to do Dom's work until he returned. And when he did, both engines mended their ways and had been firm friends ever since.